Hey Cowboys Nation! Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into one of the biggest stories surrounding the Dallas Cowboys. And yes, it's about Deion Sanders, aka Coach Prime, and those ever-present rumors of him joining our team as head coach. Cowboys fans, the team's been struggling at 3-6, and as we all know, the Dallas Cowboys organization is always looking to improve, striving to make a positive change every season. But will Deion Sanders be part of that? Before we dive deep, please smash that like button, and if you haven't already, hit subscribe for the latest updates and in-depth analysis on America's team. Now, let's get into the rumors and break down what's really going on. The 2024 season hasn't exactly gone as planned for the Cowboys. Injuries have hit the team hard, especially with Dak Prescott sidelined for the rest of the season. With backup quarterbacks Cooper Rush and Trey Lance struggling to find any rhythm, it's been a tough ride. This rocky 3-6 start has cast doubts over Mike McCarthy's future as head coach, with many fans and analysts anticipating a change unless a miraculous turnaround happens. McCarthy's issues don't stop on the field. After a rough loss to the Eagles, McCarthy drew criticism for a poorly timed joke about AT&T Stadium sun issues. Yes, we're talking about the sun shining into the stadium and causing issues for our players on the field. Fans are frustrated, and this lighthearted comment didn't sit well with those who are already seeing red over the Cowboys' performance. Enter Deion Sanders. The Hall of Fame cornerback and Cowboys legend has been making waves in the college football scene with his success as head coach at Colorado. With two star players, including his son, Deion Sanders, Coach Prime has been proving he's more than capable of leading a team. Naturally, this has fueled the fire of speculation that he could be the man to bring the Cowboys back to glory. But here's the thing. Deion Sanders has been crystal clear about his intentions. During an interview on FS1 Speak with fellow Cowboys legend Michael Irvin, Sanders shut down the idea with a resounding, "Don't start that." He even gave viewers a virtual tour of Colorado's football facilities, emphasizing his love for where he is now. Sanders isn't shy about saying he has no ambition to coach in the NFL. He's all in with Colorado. Despite these repeated statements, the national media keeps pushing this narrative that Deion Sanders is the prime candidate for a head coaching role with the Cowboys. He first made it clear back in 2022 that he wasn't interested in an NFL coaching position, and that hasn't changed. Yet, the rumors persist, partly because of Sanders' undeniable charisma and proven coaching skills. The question is, will the Cowboys front office respect Sanders' decision, or will they continue to hope for a change of heart? One reason this story won't go away is that it's a tantalizing idea for both Cowboys fans and the media. Deion's success at Colorado and his history with the Cowboys make for a powerful narrative, one where a beloved former player returns to lead the team to victory. Additionally, Jerry Jones has a history of making big, splashy moves, something that Sanders as head coach would certainly qualify as. However, Sanders has repeatedly shown that he values being true to himself and his team. He's committed to developing his players and has brought a lot of attention and excitement to the Colorado program. For Coach Prime, it's clear that his priorities lie with his current team, especially as his son and star quarterback Deion continues to develop under his guidance. For Cowboys fans, this season has brought about a lot of frustration, and understandably, many are looking for a big change. With McCarthy's contract set to expire, it's highly likely that Dallas will be on the hunt for a new head coach by season's end. And of course, with names like Bill Belichick, Mike Vrabel, and even our own legendary former tight end Jason Witten floating around, it seems the Cowboys front office is open to all possibilities. But here's the catch. As enticing as it sounds to have Coach Prime at the helm, Sanders' commitment to his players at Colorado, as well as his vocal dismissal of NFL coaching rumors, suggests this is not the right move for him or the Cowboys right now. The media might enjoy keeping this idea alive, but at this point, Sanders isn't giving us any reason to believe he'd be interested. And for fans, it might be time to accept that Coach Prime's future is focused on college football for the foreseeable future. Now, if the head coaching rumors weren't enough, let's talk about the sun. Yes, you heard me right. AT&T Stadium's unique glass design has always allowed sunlight to pour into the field, but this feature has recently become a point of contention. In last week's loss to the Eagles, C.D. Lamb openly criticized the sun glare, saying he's 1,000% in favor of adding curtains or blinds during games. The sun caused him to lose sight of a pass from Cooper Rush, and it's not the first time the glare has impacted the game. This issue was highlighted further when Mike McCarthy made a lighthearted joke about using a blinder to keep the sun out of his eyes during the post-game press conference. Unfortunately, This joke didn't sit well with fans who are already unhappy with the team's performance. For a fan base that's seen their team struggle to find consistency, the idea that their own stadium is contributing to game time issues just adds to the frustration. With these challenges piling up, fans are left wondering what the future holds. If McCarthy doesn't make it through the season, or if the Cowboys part ways with him afterward, the coaching search will kick into high gear. But as for Deion Sanders, he's made it clear he's not interested, no matter how often his name gets brought up in these discussions. As Dallas heads into the final stretch of the season, it's time for players, coaches, and fans alike to focus on what can be controlled on the field. This team has always been about fighting until the end, and with or without McCarthy, it's critical that the Cowboys end the season strong. Whether they pull off some late-season wins or not, the focus should be on finding solutions and improvement, not just on the sidelines, but across the entire team. So, here we are, Cowboys fans, staring down a season that feels like it was over before it truly began. Prescott suffered a partial avulsion of his hamstring tendon during Week 9 against the Falcons, which will require surgery in New York, according to Jerry Jones on The Fan. This is the end of a rough year for Dak, a year where he's been battling inconsistencies on the field and now a severe injury. For a guy who's poured so much into this team, it's a heartbreaking way to go out. It's worth noting that Prescott is no stranger to tough comebacks. We've seen him bounce back from a fractured ankle in 2020 and a thumb injury in 2022. This time, however, the journey to recovery could look different, with Prescott having recently signed a 4-year, $240 million extension that raised the market for quarterbacks across the league. This contract has set high expectations, and while it speaks to the organization's faith in Dak, it also comes with pressures that Cowboys fans are all too familiar with. With Prescott's injury, the Cowboys now turn to Cooper Rush, who's been Dak's backup and is known for his steady hand under center. But as we saw in the Eagles game, keeping up with the league's top contenders is an uphill battle without Dak. Rush has shown flashes of brilliance, but expecting him to carry this team through the rest of the season might be asking a lot. And then there's Trey Lance, who was brought in as a potential backup option, but the coaching staff has made it clear, for now, it's Rush's job to lose. With the team sitting at a disappointing 3-6, the question on everyone's mind is, can the Cowboys salvage this season? And if not, what changes can we expect as we head into 2025? Let's talk coaching. This season has been tough not just for the players, but for head coach Mike McCarthy as well. With the Cowboys struggling to find their rhythm, McCarthy's seat is getting hotter by the week. It's no secret that the Cowboys' 2024 performance could lead to a clean slate situation if things don't turn around soon. From play-calling controversies to roster management issues, McCarthy's handling of the team has left fans divided. And now, with Prescott sidelined, he'll need to rally the team like never before. What's likely is that the team's performance in these next few games will determine McCarthy's fate. With a top 10 draft pick potentially in the cards, the organization might be looking at a fresh start if things don't improve. Who would step in if McCarthy's time in Dallas ends? Well, that's a whole other discussion. But one thing's for sure, Jerry Jones will be watching every game closely as he weighs his options for 2025. Another interesting development is the addition of Will Grier to the Cowboys practice squad. Grier spent time with the Cowboys in the past and is now back in the fold after being released by the Eagles. While he isn't likely to become the starting quarterback, his presence adds some depth to our QB room and gives the team more flexibility. For those who might not remember, Grier was originally claimed by the Cowboys in 2021 and had stints with teams like the Bengals and Patriots. Though he hasn't had significant playing time, he's familiar with the Cowboys system, which could be helpful if we encounter more quarterback struggles down the stretch. But with the clock ticking, how much of an impact can we realistically expect him to make? Losing Dak is a huge blow to the team and throws a wrench into the season's plans. With Prescott out, the pressure on players like C.D. Lamb, Tony Pollard, and Micah Parsons to step up becomes even greater. It's going to take everyone playing at their absolute best for Dallas to turn things around. Unfortunately, injuries and inconsistencies have left this team in a tough position, and fans are understandably frustrated. Prescott's absence on the field will undoubtedly affect the chemistry of the offense, especially with his leadership and experience now sidelined. Meanwhile, the defense will have to dig deep, carrying even more of the load and aiming to keep games within reach as the offense tries to find its footing without their QB1. Prescott's contract situation adds another layer of complexity to his injury. The deal he signed includes no tag and no trade clauses, meaning Dak's future is firmly tied to Dallas until at least 2028. However, a looming $89.9 million cap hit in 2025 means the team will likely have to restructure this contract to maintain roster flexibility in the years ahead. That kind of commitment makes Dak's health and performance even more crucial to the Cowboys' success moving forward. This injury also raises questions about Prescott's longevity and durability. Coming off multiple injuries over the past few years, can we count on him to be the long-term solution at quarterback? Or could we see Dallas exploring other options in the draft or trade market if Prescott's recovery and performance don't meet expectations? It's a tough situation, one that the Cowboys front office will have to consider carefully as they navigate the coming seasons. With Prescott's contract and McCarthy's uncertain future, this feels like a pivotal moment for the Cowboys. While rebuilding may not be what fans want to hear, sometimes taking a step back is necessary for long-term success. If Dallas secures a high draft pick, they'll have the opportunity to bring in young talent, possibly even a quarterback to groom behind Prescott if the organization decides to prepare for the future. If Jerry Jones decides to bring in a new head coach, it could signal the start of a new era for the Cowboys, one focused on building a more balanced team with stronger depth in key areas. For a team with such high expectations year after year, this transition won't be easy, but it might be exactly what the Cowboys need to break the cycle of highs and lows that have defined recent seasons. So, Cowboys Nation, where do you stand on all this? Do you think Deion Sanders would be a good fit as head coach, despite his clear statements otherwise? Or should the team consider a different direction if McCarthy's tenure comes to an end? And what are your thoughts on the Suns' situation at AT&T Stadium? Should the Cowboys make changes to reduce glare during games? Let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear your thoughts on whether Coach Prime is the answer or if Dallas should go in another direction altogether. And as always, don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed the deep dive, and subscribe to stay up to date on everything Dallas Cowboys.